Hello, 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 what up? GreymanX6's here, and I'm finally doing the February 2025 pickup video. Obviously, I didn't just pick up all of these. I've steadily been building up my ThunderCats line, and Bengali here is the newest edition. I just brought all of them out, well, beyond just showing them off, but to talk about, well, it's time for things that make people my age feel old. Last year was the 40th anniversary of The Terminator, Transformers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and even things that don't start with T. This year, it's the NES coming out in the United States, Super Mario Brothers, and, obviously, ThunderCats. It was something I was aware of as a kid, but never really got into. I mean, I knew of that ThunderCats symbol. I saw maybe a handful of episodes. I remember distinctly seeing Lion-O using that sword to give him sight beyond sight. But I never really got into it. I guess when I was finally old enough to kind of remember stuff good, I was born in 1982, it was kind of already in reruns and just more or less passed me by. Only in recent years have I decided to give it a shot, and amazingly, without much nostalgia attached, other than Wily Kit, really? And what was I saying? Oh yeah, not much nostalgia besides just being aware that it was around in the 80s and thus having kind of an 80s aura to it. It was able to hold up on the strength of its characters and just kind of just being a fun watch. And wouldn't you know it, around the time I finally gave it a shot and got into it, there were toys to collect, thanks to Super7, for better or for worse, because we all know by now, Super7, they're kind of overpriced, not much bang for the buck, not much in the way of articulation Wily Kit really, in comparison to their contemporaries, and but whatever. And we don't even have full team completion here yet. Well, we do for the main bad guys. I got lucky. I found Jackalman and Monkeyin for a decent price, used at one of my local haunts when I wasn't really going for all of them. And then I found Linkso used at the same place. Then Panthro at a different place because of Free Comic Book Day. He was brand new at a good discount. But then I got overconfident, and then Wave 7 and beyond, you wouldn't have any such luck, so I had to get Snarf off eBay, luckily for MSRP. And I got Wily Kit when she was available again on Big Bad Toy Store, but I missed the boat on Wily Cat, and I still haven't gotten Tigra. Maybe once I can snag Wily Cat, I'll get Tigra, maybe the invisible one. Zoom out a little so you can better see the lineup, and so I can more easily show off this. Yeah, ThunderCats isn't as dead and buried as you all thought. If you want some new content, here we go. ThunderCats comics from Dynamite Studios, an entirely new continuity. Starting with number 1, which started just over a year ago, and we got an alternate cover with Chitara. You see like Tigra and Wily Kit there. And yeah, and I've been keeping up with it. Now, I'm not quite done with the OG cartoon. I've been watching it on Hulu. I'm about 90% done. Yeah, in your face, Mum-Ra. Oh, knocks out a tooth. Ancient spirits of evil, I need dental insurance. We got Chitara again. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yes. I'm about 90% done with the OG tune. Got the Thunder Tank and Vulture Man. Nice. But I haven't checked out the 2011 series since I know it ends prematurely. It got shit-canned and it was never really given a chance. And ThunderCats Roar, yeah, it doesn't have a style that I dig. I saw a few clips on YouTube. Amusing enough, but whatever. It is what it is, just not for me, and wasn't for a lot of you either. So, if you were disappointed by how goofy ThunderCats Roar is, just look at Slythe right here. You know he means business. Yeah, here we go. Year worth of comics, and we got an alternate cover with Tiger and Chitara. They're going in on that. And speaking of Chitara, there was a whole mini-series centered around her before Thundera went to shit. And we have this one-shot called ThunderCats Apex that's going to set the tone for the franchise going forward. And even, oh yeah, Silverhawks came back too. We'll get into that another time. But enough reminiscing about the old or debating whether which of the new stuff is worthy of your time. Let's get to the man of the hour, Bengali. Now, I did have this mint inbox unopened, not even a little plastic bag inside busted. The same day I got the mint inbox Panthro. I decided I was going to leave Bengali in there, but with it being the 40th anniversary and all, and I was catching up with more of the cartoon, I was in the mood for more ThunderCats. I saw a good deal for him used and snagged him. And I gotta say, well, a lot of the initial offerings from Super 7 did just kinda seem like they were recycling the style, the bucks from Super 7's He-Man and Masters of the Universe stuff, and that's really seems to come through a lot here. Just like that beefcakey, stolid look. Doesn't have much beyond typical Super 7 articulation. We do have a bicep swivel, but it doesn't offset the lack of double-jointed elbows, so you do get elbow rotation. It's got a lot of different hands. This one hinges up and down while holding the hammer of Thundera. I think that's what it's called. It probably is. You don't get any tilt at the head. Turns around just fine. Doesn't really look up or down either. At least the shoulders go up 90 degrees. Plenty of rotation all around. Cats typically have good shoulder mobility, so that's good. This hand, this clawed hand, hinges this way. We get stomach crunch. That's very functional. Waist swivel. The hips go out a good distance. Kick out a good distance. Kick back some. Single jointed at the knee, but a good 90-degree bend at least, and it swivels there, so you don't really need the boot cut. And ankle pivot, hinges back and forth. Serviceable articulation, but the price point you normally pay for like $55, and who knows how much that's going to go up now, thanks to tariffs and stuff. This is why I was just trying to snag deals on them, and luckily I did get somewhat of a deal for him. I didn't have to go open that mint condition one. I got him for about $40 with most of the accessories. In fact, let's bring those out. Okay, here's the rest of Bengali's hands. Here's the grippy hand for his right side that also hinges this way. And here we have a pair of grippy hands that hinges the other way, so you got a lot of options there. And this is his left clawed open hand. And Bengali also comes with a pair of fists, where he just has to cold cock a motherfucker. And just like Chitara did as a sop for how long it took for her to come out, we got a head for Bengali where he's glowing in response to the sort of omen summoning him. Won't really focus, but whatever. And here's sort of omens in the process of being repaired, because Bengali was their blacksmith and he was pretty much the only one who could fix it up whenever it got shattered, which happened more than once. And I don't have the platform it was supposed to go on, but here's the anvil he would do that work on. But without that platform, I mean, what am I supposed to do with this? Drop it on some cartoon duck? Alright, moving on from ThunderCats. Ho! Well, not really. Anyway, So my headcanon that Bengali can be quite smooth with the ladies. We got a couple good ones right here. So let's take a look at this really old figure. DC Universe Classics Mattel Star Sapphire, Carol Ferris. By the time I'm filming this, the news broke that Mattel's probably getting the master license for DC Comics back from McFarlane. I'm kind of torn on that. I'll do my thoughts in a different video. But all I can say is, they better up their game if they're going to compete with Marvel Legends again, if they're going to do DC again. People keep saying, oh, look at Masterverse, look at WWE, those are pretty good, pinless joints and stuff. Well, it better be that level of quality, because looking back, this ab cut right here, I mean, it's not really moving. It kind of just wiggles a little. Okay, it goes like there, but it looks pug ugly. It's like, no. At least you got good movement in the shoulders, bicep swivel, which a lot of Marvel Legends ladies didn't have for quite some time. Almost 90-degree bend in the elbows. We got the weird crotch pit hips, the T thing. Thigh cut all the way down there. 90-degree bend on the legs. Ankles rock back and forth, no pivoting. And not much play in the head, looks down, can't look up really because of the hair, and the face sculpt, decent enough, but I hope we do better. In fact, the way Star Sapphire looks in the comics right now, in Justice League Unlimited, I hope they do that new costume. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Oh, she's not all stripperific anymore. Well, before you complain about, oh, they're trying to uglify DC girls, bitch, please. We still got Power Girl rocking the boob window. Carol Ferris looks better in this new costume, showing a lot less skin. Anyway, now we have a Mary Jane. Looks like I wasn't the first one to have this idea. Take the base body of MCU Jessica Jones and put a Mary Jane head atop of it. The skin tone isn't a perfect match, but from a distance, and even kind of close up, you really gotta squint to notice the discrepancy. So yeah, when I finally bought this, I noticed that there was a second one that already had a different Mary Jane head, so obviously I'm not the only one who had that idea. I got this one because the joints were a bit better. And anyway, this is the Mary Jane head from the Spinneret and Renew Your Vows Spider-Man 2-pack. A lot of people complained that this one looked doll-like or something, but overall, I'm digging it. So anyway, she's rocking this like Terminator-esque leather jacket, and okay, we bend back quite a bit, bend forward quite a bit, despite this being a diaphragm cut instead of an ab crunch. Does she have a waist cut? I don't think so. Anyway, again, like I said, for the longest time, Marvel ladies didn't have double-jointed elbows. Get little wrists that hinge up and down. Ball-jointed hips that go out that far. Got a cut that's not too obvious up there at the hip. And, oh, I'm going to have to heat these up. These feel stiff. I do not feel confident bending those right now. Not after the problem I had with the DCUC Kilowog last month. Okay, we got these kind of floaty pieces for her boots. It's a really loose ankle rocker. But what do you expect? I got this used, and this is a good comics Mary Jane. For the longest time, what I had for Mary Jane was where... Oh, right here. I had the movie one with her... How's it pronounced? Quadpo dress from Spider-Man 1. I actually have the 2-pack with a different variation of Pizza Spidey and the old comic MJ, but I didn't want to open it because it was a Toys R Us exclusive, so I'm glad I waited long enough to get this nice Terminator-esque look with this particular Mary Jane head. I'm good. And now for the last figure to show off, I got this at a collector show in February, and I wasn't even planning on getting this because, you know, people were army building multiple man. Oh, really? Really, Star Sapphire? Anyway. So, all of them were kind of bought up, and this is the one I would have wanted. I didn't get the X Factor costume Wolfsbane yet, but if I wanted Multiple Man, I wanted this look with the gambity coat and all that. But it usually goes for $50 loose, but somehow someone was selling this for $25 in the package. It's already opened, but still, to have the box and the Apocalypse Build-A-Figure piece, god damn, let's get them out. Alright, we got Jamie Madrox out of the packaging, and I just couldn't help but take out the rest of the 90s X Factor members I have. Even though it's not the right costumes, again, we still got that New Mutants version of Wolfsbane, we got the old school costume for Havoc, and we got Quicksilver in his Brotherhood of Evil Mutants colors, but I don't care, it's such an improved figure, and that face sculpt is still so divine, that printing technology. Anyway, let's have a look. It's the basic Marvel Legends male buck, only without double-jointed elbows because he's got a coat on. He's got some like ratchety joints in there, which is nice. And we do have some rotation at the elbow, so that helps. And I swapped faces, so he's got this smirking, mischievous face, which fits the character of Jamie Madrox perfectly, because he was kind of a prankster, he was always seeking attention, something about how he only literally had himself for company for long stretches when he grew up in Kansas or some shit like that. It's been a long time since I've read the old school comics. I think that was from that issue where they all went to Doc Samson for counseling. Anyway, going on. The hips don't split out very far. Do have a twist in the thigh, and okay, don't have to heat up the legs like I'm gonna have to do with Mary Jane. Feels a tad gummy though. Yeah, this is definitely an older figure. Ab crunch is nice and functional though. Can't tilt the head, but get up and down and side to side just fine. Overall, yeah, I much preferred this look for Jamie Madrox than the one they put on the retro card a few years later. I doubt I'm going to be able to afford to army build, like get a good deal as I did for this one, and where am I going to put them all anyway? I don't even have any space for my G.I. Joe Cobra Trooper army builders, but whatever. At least now, I wasn't even counting on ever getting Multiple Man, ever bothering, but... And Alex, really? But I got him, and now I guess I'm just going to have to get Polaris. I hadn't even intended to complete the X Factor team, despite having very nostalgic, fond memories of that comic. Anyway, time to wrap up the rest of the stuff. At the same show where I picked up Multiple Man, for $3 I was able to dig into a box of PS3 stuff and get this racing game, Blur. I don't know if it's any good, but I remember reading a couple articles saying that it was one of the better racing games of this generation, and it was a shame it was delisted. Oh, I just noticed we got a BMW right on the front. Nice. Well, they certainly play it up, make it look exciting, all the energy effects and explosions and shit. I got the instructions, even though, even by then they weren't doing much with the instructions, and I remember when I opened Sly Cooper Thieves in Time, and there weren't any, and the disc is in very nice condition. I am definitely going to have to give this one a spin. I mean, for $3, and it came recommended, why the hell not? And for my final pickup, really? Anyway, hang on a second. You may recall in a past video, I talked about picking this up while away in Kansas. The first few episodes of Martian Successor. Wow, really? Nadesico, I'm probably butchering that pronunciation. Well, I decided, since I saw a deal on eBay for all the other discs, just get them all. Now I have the complete library. Wait, which episodes are on this one? I'm not sure. Oh, well. Important month is I Got 'Em All, another anime that I'll actually hopefully watch, because again, I've got the Neon Genesis Evangelion set on DVD. I've had it for a long time, and I still haven't finished it. I guess I gotta finish that first before I go watch this anime that came out later and was a parody of mecha anime. Oh well. See you next month.